Now, the final part that we're going to be going through are your behaviors and your identity. And as I mentioned in the last video, if you've got any questions on any of the steps, just pop it in the comments and I'll get straight back to you. It is a lot that we're going through here in a very condensed amount of time, so I appreciate all this might be new to you. However, let's crack on. Behaviors. Everything that we've gone through so far should give you some indication of what you're doing, fantastic, but especially maybe what you're not doing, or not doing as maximally as you can be. Because the higher up the ladder of performance you go, it's not wholesome changes, it's percentage changes. 1% change here, 2% change there, but the compounding effect of those changes is the difference between an extra 100K this year, 200K, million, 20 million this year, all because cognitively you are sharper for longer, consistently for days, weeks, months, and your ability to make sharper decisions is heightened even more. So you imagine if you're working at 80% right now, but we get an extra 10% out of you, what impact does that have your business, your brain, your body? I want that to really sink in with you. So let's think about the behaviors. And this is going to be on you now. I don't know your situation. I've never met you, but I'm rooting for you. Now, obviously, all of this we go through in a very detailed manner with my one-to-one clients. But for the sake of today, I want you to think about what new behaviors you need to adopt. Think about what's the goal, what are the bottlenecks, and how nutritionally you can step up. So take some time on this. Look down at your notes, review all the content we've gone through, because your new behaviors might be, I will have a bedtime routine. And it might be, if you're waking up and you're thinking, what do I do today then? If you don't have clarity on what you need to do today in terms of your work, your health, your nutrition, your fitness, you're never going to win long term. Because what you're fundamentally doing is you're in a reactive state, because your emotions in the moment are going to be higher. So in that moment, you're going, what shall I do now? Oh yeah, I need to do that. And the hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is very important in this situation. So one behavior might be, at the end of every working day, you plan your next day. And every Sunday, you plan your week. And every month, you plan the next month. And every month, you plan the quarter. Every quarter, you get my point. Because what gets measured gets managed. So we want to manage not just your calories and not just your KPIs of how many calls you've made or how many sales you've done, but we want to measure your behaviors. This is going to be the cutting edge that takes you to that next level this year. So I want you to obsess on how accurate you're going to sleep every night. I want you to obsess on actually how much caffeine you're having. Now, this doesn't mean that I need you to know how many grams of caffeine you're having every day, but I do need you to know whether you're having caffeine at 3 p.m. and then if it's going to impact your sleep tonight. Because then, this is now the definition of learning, is taking an experience and changing the behavior so that next time you get a different response. That's the definition of learning. If you know that you're going to bed too late, and again and again and again, you're waking up tired, you're snoozing your alarm, you're not getting up as early as you can, you're not learning. It's the definition of stupidity. So don't be stupid, let's be 2.0 versions of ourselves. So take some time, think about the behaviors that you need to adopt, and then start diarizing them and what they look like. Because what you might find is one behavior adds into a second behavior. Because if you're like, okay, cool, I need to get up at an hour earlier so I can make sure that I've gone for a run, that I've been to the gym, whatever it might be, that might be a new behavior you want to adopt. But if then the behavior again comes into a negative standpoint, oh yeah, but James, then I'm only getting 5 hours of sleep. Cool, that creates the next behavior of getting 2 hours extra sleep by going to bed earlier. And so you can use these piggyback behaviors to create the outcome of your North Star. Now, how does that apply to your identity? Okay, and this is the last thing that we're going to do. Who you are is what we went through in terms of your tool of inversion. Who you are right now has caused all of this to not be successful up to this point. But we already know who you are now. That's not who you want to be. Who you want to be, who is needed, and this is very important. There's a difference between who I want to be and who I must be. And I want you to be in the mindset that you must change. You must evolve your identity. And the way that we're going to do this is with what's called pain versus pleasure. Pain versus pleasure responses. So let's take Netflix and late nights. The pleasure in the moment is, oh, it's such a good episode. Oh, I'm on a cliffhanger. Let's just squeeze in one more. The pleasure in that moment is watching it. The pain is going to bed at a good time like you know you should do. But then the problem is, the flip side of that is you wake up in the morning and you're feeling the pain. The pain of that decision has increased, and suddenly the pleasure of that has decreased. Oh, maybe you shouldn't have watched that episode. Oh, it was really good, but I'm so tired today. Then that impacts you. So what I want us to be able to do is, I want us to think about delayed gratification. And this now all goes into your identity about your prioritization. Because if you've got your North Star, we can directly link our attention to what we want to create pleasure towards and what we want to create pain towards. And I've done this with, I've coached over 1,000 people over the last, decade and a half, very much around performance, fat loss. And one of the key things is, James, I want to lose weight. Now here's the thing. The pain is, James, I want to lose weight. My confidence isn't there. I don't feel good about myself. But in the moment, when you're overeating, no matter how much pain there is, the pleasure outweighs the pain. Oh, I don't feel good, so I'm not going to feel good. So actually, do you know what? I'm going to get that dopamine. I'm going to eat what feels good, and I'm just going to eat some more. But then straight away afterwards, it's, oh, I feel even worse now. So what we've got to do is recognize we will keep repeating this pattern until we learn this lesson. And right now, I'm giving you the lesson that we need to increase the appropriate pleasure and decrease the appropriate pain. And so what we can do is, let's say using the food analogy there, if I overeat, I can't bear overeating. Because when I overeat, I feel sluggish, my confidence goes down, my ability to perform, my meetings all decrease. Whatever it is to you, whatever your goals, whatever your bottlenecks are, I want you to really get disgusted with the past behaviors that were holding you back, and I want you to be excited by, and I want you to be really reinvigorated by the pleasure of adopting your new behaviors. Because when you do that and you tie your goal and understand your bottlenecks, and then you apply the appropriate nutrition, and then you adopt the new behaviors, then your identity changes, then you become the 2.0 version of yourself. And I know this looks like a lot, but actually it's not dramatic, wholesome changes. Maybe it is for you, okay? And if that is, start where you're at and build up towards that next level. But wherever you are at, regardless of how far along, the success ladder you are, this will take you to that next level. And if you've got any questions, do pop them in the comments. Do subscribe to my channel. I am James Hesling. I'll see you next time.